I'm really honored today to be here in this conference, and I do congratulate Dr. Shaikh for organizing this huge event. And special thanks to him to keep us in the organizing committee and asking us to be here and to give the presentation today. The topic of my presentation is Sindh, the Millenniums Unraveled. The land of Sindh, with its lifeline, the Indus, the coastal plains, the desert, the hilly outcrops, the mountain ranges, the Piedmont and Kohistan, cradles the earliest cultures and was the epicenter of the Great Indus Valley Civilization. It has seen the rise and fall of the empires, dynasties, and kingdoms. It is the abode of the rich cultural heritage which is partially unveiled and still needs to be unraveled. The evidence unveiled needs to be protected, preserved, and promoted so that future generations have a kaleidoscopic view of the rich cultural heritage. This presentation is an overview focusing on the unveiling of the earliest levels of prehistory of Sindh, revealed through extensive and intensive explorations and excavations carried out in various parts of Sindh by foreign and local archaeologists, historians, geographers, and institutions since 19th century. It relates to the significant discoveries which have enhanced our knowledge of the magnificent cultural heritage of Sindh, from Paleolithic beginnings to the late Indus period in the mid-2nd millennium BC. Thereafter, the threads would be taken up by Dr. Rafique Mughal. Discoverers unveiling the past, the first phase, the Paleolithic. The prehistoric chapter of Sindh was hidden until the 19th century when Blandford in 1880 first reported masses of flint on top of surface of Redi Hills and Ungar Hills, also called Milestone 101. After its initial discovery in 1929, Henry Cousins in 1939, Dittera and Patterson reported presence of stone tools of Paleolithic and Indus period assemblage on the Redi Hills. The research on Paleolithic got its impetus in the 70s when Dr. Rauf Khan in 1972 in and around Karachi and Alchans in 1975-76 on Redi Hills and Ungar. Ungar is near Jamshoro. Had unfolded this period. Biagi and Kremashi in 1986 surveyed the Redi Hills. The team of the Department of Archaeology at Shah Abdul Latif University, comprising of myself, Dr. Wieser, Dr. Qasid, Qazi Mukhtiar, in collaboration with the Italian mission, also explored the Redi Hills from 1992 to 2000 and later independently. Since 2011, Japanese mission of the Institute of Ren is also collaborating with Shah Abdul Latif University team and are investigating the third region, Paleolithic and later studies. All this intensive survey by various institutions and missions led to the discovery of the presence of the earliest stone tools manufacturers in Sindh. The Redi Hills, Thar Desert in the Wieser Valley, Ungar Hills, Tharo Hills, Khirthar Mountains, Murli Karachi were the Paleolithic rich areas unfolding for the first time the earliest stages of prehistory of this region. The tools that have been found here are techno-topological dated and assignable to nearly 1.5 million years BCE. The lower to Paleolithic tool assemblage was found from Redi Hills and the Wieser Valley, which comprised of hand axes, subconical cores, discoidal, unidirectional pyramidal cores, scrapers, bifacial tools, picks, and scrapers, blade industry comprising of cores and flakes. When these were being discovered, the question arose as to the residing places of these people. There were large number of workshops on top of the Redi Hills. The flat top Redi Hills had large number, thousands of workshops on top of them. So we started investigating. The team from Khairpur University started investigating in the vicinity of Redi Hills and Thar Desert. Caves were located, and one such cave was excavated by Shah Abdul Latif University. You can see it in the picture, they're excavating one of the caves there. But we got no results. On the contrary, huge boulders were found in various places near the Rodi Hills and in Thar. When examined, they were found to be the protectors and used for hearths in the huts. Perhaps in ancient times too, these people lived in huts near the hills as in recent times. These are contemporary huts, as you can see. Following this Paleolithic stage, a new phase was unraveled. That was the Mesolithic stage, which is from 10th millennium BC onwards. Explorations in the vicinity of Rodi Hills and in Upper Thar by Shah Abdul Latif University and Italian mission started in 1995 onwards. Reanalysis of material was done by Dr. Biaji of Dr. Rauf Khan of Karachi University and of the Olchins, and up to date, Shah Abdul Latif University, they are carrying out their investigations jointly with the Japanese mission and independently also on the Mesolithic period of Thar Desert and in other parts. The Mesolithic discoveries by the Italian and Shah Abdul Latif University is a short form mission in the Thar Desert in and around the lakes was the first evidence of the presence of microlithic chipped stone assemblage around the beginning of the Holocene in 10th millennium. Two regions had furnished evidence of microlithic. Thar Desert in Upper Sindh, in the vicinity of lakes near Thari, along the coast of Arabian Sea near Karachi, on the terraces of the rivers that flew into it. These are the two regions from where we have got evidence of the Mesolithic people or the microliths. Moving from the Mesolithic towards the settled life, that is the third phase that was unraveled. The first phase was the Paleolithic, the second phase was the Mesolithic. During the Mesolithic, it was the period that gave way and also coexisted with the permanent settled communities which began to appear in the Neolithic period about 7th millennium BCE. The third phase, the earlier stage of human settlements in Sindh, emerged with the domestication of plants and animals that ensured permanent habitation and led to social and economic organization in contrast to hunting and gathering way of life, though these communities may have coexisted as well. This formative stage, the evidence comes from Mehergarh in the Kutchi plain, physiographically part of Sindh, provided a long sequence from Neolithic to the early Indus period. The Hakra culture tradition was unveiled by Dr. Rafique Mughal, who is here, and distribution is found in Cholistan and Thar Desert. Now evidence is coming up from India also and other areas of Punjab. The Amrian culture, you can see the Amrian culture tradition was unveiled by Majumdar. The distribution is found in the Western Sindh and Balochistan. The third distribution was of the Codidian cultural tradition, unveiled by Dr. F.A. Khan, and the distribution is in Eastern Sindh, Rajasthan, Gomal, and Tochi Valley in Punjab. The main features were emergence of village life, increase in population and economic interdependence, exploitation of small river valleys, peatmonts, highland, lowland interaction, exploitation of resource-rich areas, craft specialization, which Dr. Markenard showed you. The first tradition, the Mehergarh, from 1974 to 2005, French mission started the archaeological investigation at the foot of Bolan Pass at the site of Mehergarh. Mehergarh is located in the region of physiographically is in Upper Sindh, and has produced a good picture of early inhabitants and their material culture from 7th millennium BC onwards, where from period 1 to 7 gave us a long sequence of the settlements. Hakra period investigation in Cholistan by Dr. Rafique Mughals from 74 to 77 was seen as a continuity of phase in Sindh, Upper Sindh especially. In Upper Sindh, which was explored by Shah Abdul Latif University from 2000 onwards, which furnished evidence of Hakra period pottery at few sites along with microliths as in Cholistan sites. Main characteristics of Hakra culture were found there at the sites of Visar Valley, Charbaro, Rarwaro, Mangri and Juppat site is here. Dr. Mughal also found this in Jalilpur, in the lower levels of Jalilpur, if I'm right. The Amrian cultural tradition of Western Sindh. The Amrian cultural tradition and rise of villages and towns in the western side of Indus and connections with Balochi cultural traditions on the west and northwest. Banerjee explored from 1922-23, K. and Dixit 28, further intensified by Majumdar from 27 to 38. Lambrick, Kohistan region 1941 to 44, 1975, and in Lower Indus 1946. Louis Flamm explored this region from 1981 to 86. Kaleem Lashari, Ishtiaq Ansari, Hakim Ali Bukhari have also explored this region, and recently Center for Documentation and Conservation Jamshoro, where I am working now, we are exploring the Dadu, Larkan and Jamshoro districts. The site of Amri, Majumdar, excavated in 1930, then it was excavated by G.M. Kazal from 1959 to 61. Department of Archaeology also had conducted a rescue operation when RBOD was being constructed, but no report has been published. Typical Amrian pottery, no evidence of such pottery on the eastern bank of Indus. It's also only in Balochistan side or on the western bank of Indus. The Codidian cultural tradition of the eastern Sindh. Codidian cultural tradition and rise of villages and towns in eastern sides of Indus, its extent was found in a very large area, Gomal, Punjab, Rajasthan, Western Sindh, Kutchi Plain. It is at the site of Kodiji in Sindh that antecedents of the Indus civilization were first discovered, and then at contemporary sites in Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Rajasthan, which changed the previous concept of the origins of Indus civilization explored by Ghuriye and excavated by Rafique Khan. N.A. Baloch also did some exploration, but that was in 1973 in southern Sindh, but no Codidian was found by him. Since 1989, Shah Abdul Latif University, comprising of myself, Qazi, Visar, and Mallah, Qasid Mallah, we have been exploring the areas, and we have found a number of sites of the Codidian period in this area. This is the site of Kodiji, which was excavated by Rafique Khan and in 1955-57. The typical Codidian ware you can see here in the pic. I'm going quick because I've got a large number of slides, so I have to be quick because of the time constraints. Bhed was one of the sites which has Codidian as well as mature in this period. This was explored by Shah Abdul Latif University team, and it is on the eastern side of Rodi Hills. You can see the typical Codidian and the mature Indus pottery. Another site, Lul Madi, was also explored by Shah Abdul Latif University. It has Codidian period as well as the mature Indus period. You can see the Codidian pottery here as well. We had explored large number of huge quantities of semi-precious stones from Lul Madi. This is site of Bhando Kubo on the road to Ratodero. This site was exposed when the Indus Highway was being constructed. So Shah Abdul Latif University team studied the section that was visible, and from here also we found the Codidian and the mature Indus material. A view of the Codidian material and the mature Indus material from Bhando Kubo near Ratodero. It's a very important site, very important site. Now we come to the Indus civilization period. the Indus civilization was unveiled, when we have the cities and towns in a very large area. The hidden Indus cities were uncovered in the early 20s. Harappa, though reported earlier, gained importance after the discovery of Mohenjo-daro. The dramatic discovery of Indus civilization and Mohenjo-daro in the 20s gave rise to large-scale exploratory activities in western Sindh, and further in Iran and Balochistan on one hand, and Punjab, Gomal, Rajasthan, Gujarat on the other side. That is 3rd millennium BC. The explorations of the discovery of Mohenjo-daro and Harappa resulted in the widespread presence of villages and towns and cities in the Indus, Gagar Valley, along the coast of Balochistan, Sindh, Kutch, Gujarat, the Piedmonts and small river valleys, along the various passes, and right up to Badakhshan, west towards Oman, and eastern limits being Haryana. Nearly 2,600 settlements have been documented and still more to be unveiled. In Sindh, nearly 75 sites with 3 major cities in Sindh alone, yet more discoveries awaited. Mohenjo-daro, Lakhanjo-daro, Chaho-daro, these are the 3 major cities of the Indus in Sindh. This is the map showing the extent and distribution of the mature and the early Indus period sites. The mature extension you can see at Ras Al Junais in Oman, and Shartugai in the north in Badakhshan, and you can see the major sites as well as extent and distribution, which encompasses a very huge area. We talk about the emergence of Indus civilization. Somebody was talking about, perhaps it was Barrister Etizaz also. What were the factors of the Indus? There was physical environment was suitable, there was network of rivers and streams, fertile plains due to flooding of rivers, natural boundaries formed by mountains and sea coast. It was a favorable climate. The social environment, closely knit society of Mohenjo-daro, Harappa and other sites, progress in techniques of agriculture and livestock, craft skills, expanded interaction networks, trade routes and links. There was a peaceful society. The befitting response was mobilization for meeting challenges of floods. You may have seen in 2010 even how we meet the challenges. So it's since ancient time we meet challenges. Unity among clans for common objectives. A harmonious interaction existed. Tolerance was there, mutual respect, participation in planning cities, townships. A peaceful coexistence was seen. So the civilized state, the Indus civilization holds an area that is larger than its contemporary civilizations. Uniformity in material culture, pottery, seals, tablets, lithic tools, copper implements, though there is diversity, regional diversity also. Agriculture, animal husbandry, management of water resources, reservoirs, tanks, wells. Wells and this technology was for the first time introduced by the mature Indus people. Interaction sphere, vast expansion ranging from North Afghanistan to South in Gujarat, Western Persian Gulf area up to Oman and Mesopotamia, Rajasthan, Haryana in the west, in the east. Trade and exchange in goods and services also contributed in exchange of knowledge also and technology. The context with the contemporary civilization, Mesopotamia, also referred in Mesopotamian records as Baluha. Dr. Mark and I showed the slide in the morning. These records even refer to a Meluhan village in Mesopotamia and Meluhan interpreter. Today, Mark and I said people were living in Oman as well. So the people of Indus Valley, Meluha, were living in Mesopotamia as well as in Oman. Just a few slides on the various technologies. The well technology introduced for the first time. Dr. Michael Jensen is here. He says that nearly 600 wells are found in the city of Mohenjo-daro. Major cities of the Indus in Sindh. Mohenjo-daro is one of them. As I said earlier, Lakhanjo-daro and Chaho-daro, I'll have a few slides on them. So Mohenjo-daro was excavated by Marshall and his team in 1922. from 22 to 27. The further excavations were Mecca in 1927 to 31, Wheeler in 1950, and J.F. Dales did a boring in 1964. Michael Jensen, the German mission, systematically mapped and documented the excavations carried out at Mohenjo-daro, and Italian mission did the surface analysis from 80s and 90s. Perhaps Mark and I was also there at that time. Mohenjo-daro, another site, was unveiled. The site was discovered and partially excavated by Majumdar in 1931. From 35 to 36 by Mecca, remains of mature Indus period and Jhukar culture and Jhangar period. A view of Mohenjo-daro site and the pottery. The seals, on the top two seals are the Jhukar period seals, and the one below are the mature Indus. And this is the figurine. Similar figurine was also found from Mohenjo-daro. Mohenjo-daro, the third city unveiled in Sindh. It's a huge settlement. It was first excavated in 1994 at Mount D with the collaboration of the Department of Archaeology. Then independently, the Shah Abdul Latif University, comprising of myself and my team at Khairpur, Dr. Qasid Mullah, Dr. Veser, Qazi Mukhtiar, we all excavated there. From 1998, there were small-scale excavations, in fact, 1998, 2000, 2006, 2009, and 10 at Mount C. The extent of the site of Mohenjo-daro is huge. It's spread in 3 kilometers area. It is located right in the industrial zone of Sakkar city. And because of this city, we can say Sakkar is one of the oldest living city in South Asia. A view of the excavations that we carried out in 2006 and 9 and 10, which furnished essential aspects elaborating on the lifestyle within the city and its place in the greater panorama of Indus Valley Civilization. And this site is on the northern tip of the Rodi Hills. You can see the drains. The earlier period, we have the older drain, and on top we have the later period drains, that the platform. So this drain culture is all in the Indus period. It's contemporary to a mature Indus site of Mohenjo-daro. Another view of the excavations where we found 2 into 2 meter gateway pillars, and you can see the plan here. There were gateway pillars and the staircases leading up. There were the pillars were tapering pillars. The cultural material from Mohenjo-daro and other major mature Indus sites, just a view of the material culture of the mature Indus period. Indus script on seals, ceilings, tablets, pottery is found. But at Dholavira, the site which was mentioned earlier, it was at Dholavira that script was found on a gateway. There was a signboard on the gateway, and it was through the courtesy of Dr. Bish that I've got this view. So glimpses of few mature Indus sites which were explored by Shah Abdul Latif University. It's Pungar Bhamro. I'll just be quick because I've got the message. Talurji Pit is another site in the Thar Desert, which is again a mature Indus period site. And at Talurji Pit, we have got the Codigan material as well. The Rodi Hills, where more than 1,200 workshops where Indus people were preparing their stone tools and blades were found on the Rodi Hills. The dilemma is mature Indus sites are spread in a vast area in Pakistan, India, Afghanistan, Oman. The number more than 2,600. Thanks, Dr. Kenoyer gave me this number. Hardly 10% sites have been unveiled through partial excavation. Hardly 10% of the 2,600. In Sindh, nearly 75 sites have been recorded, out of which only 9 have been partially excavated, scraped or laid trial trenches. Mohenjo-daro, 10% of the total site. Mohenjo-daro, partial, same as with other sites, some are only rescue operations or trial trenches, resulting in many questions yet to be answered. Standardized writing system existed, but script not yet deciphered. Future excavations may perhaps unearth a bilingual script which may help in decipherment. The early Indus, the later part, after 6 centuries of its luxurious lifestyle and massive economic investment, this civilization declined and left many questions unanswered. Society, which had reached its zenith, saw its decline. Civilization disintegrated in second millennium BC due to imbalance in parameters that led to its emergence. Jhukkad, and that was followed by Jhangar and Jhukkad culture. This site, Jhukkad, was explored by Banerjee and excavated by Majumdar in 1910. Dr. Mughal also excavated here in 73, 74. He excavated his settlement, and we found the Jhukkad and Jhangar material. The millennium that followed the emergence of Indus civilization is still shrouded in mystery. Focused research is needed to unveil this and the later millennia, where history has furnished records but archaeologically need to be scientifically investigated and evidence corroborated. The mid-second millennium, it was the localization era that Dr. Makanaya says. In Sindh, we have got the Jhukkad Jangal culture. In Punjab, we have the symmetry age culture. In Gujarat, we have got the Rangpur and Lothal lustrous redware, black and redware. In Balochistan, we have got the Sibri, South Symmetry, Mehergarh, and Kuli Mehi cultures. So it was a sort of localization era, and the unity had dismantled. Final is that these are the challenges. Lakhenjadoro site is being destroyed. You can see here by excavators. It's right in the city of Sakkar. We have to save it. RBOD was being constructed. Amri was destroyed. The below one are the pics of the Rodi Hills, where thousands of workshops of Paleolithic period and mature Indus period are found, but they are being destroyed. So we have to do something to save our heritage. So thank you very much. I stop.